Hi, and welcome to Module 1. During this module, we're going to explore the questions, what is light and how do we see? Before you begin the presentations in this module and get into the content, I'm going to ask you to please download and complete and submit the pre-module guide. During this module, you're going to complete also during the module guide, and finally, in the very end, submit a post-module guide once you've worked all the way through the first module. So the module guides are a tool that are going to help you navigate the module and really get the most out of it. It allows you to capture the content that's most important to you and also to record your questions so that we're sure that you get them answered. The module guides also provide an initial framework for structuring your own learning, and ultimately they'll be used while you work out how you're going to present all of this material with your own students, and you'll also use it as you prepare your final project. Once you've completed the pre-module guide, print out the during the module guide and fill that out as you work through the module content. In the very end, we'll ask you to fill out the post-module guide and submit that before you move on to Module 2. So, what are we going to cover in terms of content during the first module? There are 4 presentations for Module 3, each one less than 10 minutes long. The first presentation will take a look at vision and the history of how we develop the modern theory of vision and how that relates to the understanding that kids are going to walk into your classroom with about light. In the second presentation, we'll go through an activity that takes students from an intuitive misunderstanding about how we see to an understanding of how we see based on a scientific investigation, just like the first scientist did who figured it out. In the third presentation, we'll go a little deeper into the background science and try to answer the question, what is light? Really, what is it? As you fill out that pre-module guide, take a stab at answering what light is and see where you are in the beginning as compared to where you are at the very end of this module. And then at the final presentation of this module, we're going to unpack a pedagogical model known as the 5 E's. And we'll use that to create a framework for both going through the rest of the course and a framework that you could potentially use as you create your own module or your own final project for how you're going to present this content to your students. And finally, again, when you're all done, I'm going to ask you to please fill out that post-module guide and upload it so that we can compare where you were before the module and where you are after. So without any further ado, let's get started with answering the question, how do we see?